What's going on, everyone? If anyone ever tells you the food business is easy and you're always going to make a lot of money, they have no idea what they're talking about. This is Mike, the Caesar of concessions. All right. I want to talk about my big 4th of July event and what a massive loss we just took. So, let me kind of set the scene here for you. We have done this fireworks and town event for 15 years in a row. It's one of the first events we ever did when we started our business, and it has been phenomenal every year. And it would have been phenomenal this year, but it rained like all day long. So let me set the stage here for you. This is done in our town, and it's always done at the sports complex where I have some of our brick and mortars, right? So that's great. In addition to that, so we have 4 brick and mortars set up. And then not just that, we have tents for kettle corn, fresh squeezed lemonade, shaved ice, stuff like that, in addition to the brick and mortar. So we have all this set up. So if you can imagine the amount of product it would take to get that up and running for all 4 locations, in addition to all the mobile tents we had set up. And then the amount of labor. And because this event, pretty much goes most of the day into the evening. And yesterday here in Kansas City, it rained most of the day. So as you can expect, the attendance was pretty light. Now, the thing with the forecast is, we buy our food because we have to get so much, we start buying it a week in advance leading up to this. And the forecast, a week out kind of called for it to be pretty nice. But you just never know. I mean, I don't know about your area, but in the Midwest, that weather can come on at any time. And so when we were purchasing all this food, and guys, I don't want to reveal numbers, but it was a lot. We spent a lot of money just on food alone. And then, so, we do all that. And some of the concession stands aren't even open right now. Like football's not open, soccer's not open. So, it's kind of sketchy with a lot of waste if it doesn't work out. But this event has been great for 15 years. But it was like the perfect storm of a horrible event yesterday. So it rained most of the day, but I still had to have all this labor and people out there. And it looked like on a radar there would be breaks in between, so it would be okay. But the breaks weren't long enough to get people out there. It would break for an hour, then rain again for 3 or 4 hours, break again, etc., etc. But it did stop right before the fireworks display. But by that point, guys, the damage was already done. And even after 15 years in this business, we still can take losses, right? I mean, this was a pretty big loss, and it's kind of important because this was a major event for us. We count on this event almost every year. And in this business, that's hard to do, right? Because when you have a track record of something for 15 years, you know what it's going to do year in and year out. There's only one thing that can mess it up, and that's Mother Nature. And she is always the boss. I don't care what kind of plans you have, how great you are, how long you've been in business. Mother Nature will and can screw it up. But before I carry on with how bad yesterday's event was, I have a membership group. It's only $2 a month. You can join. We do workshops twice a month. Heck, we got a workshop coming up this week. So we'd love to see you get involved in that. I do exclusive content for the members in our group, and you can use the Discord server to get a hold of me and to get some, kind of help with your business if you need it. Check it out, $2 a month. Link will be in the description. So we have all this set up. And with the off and on rain, that really hurt the attendance. And so the kind of thing is, we still have to prepare people are going to come out, because it wasn't like a heavy rain, like a storm. it was kind of drizzly, heavy rain to drizzle to nothing. And so it's kind of hard to tell. You're like, well, it's just kind of drizzling here. Maybe people will come out. So we had to prep like we were going to serve, 50,000 people. And so we had to prep for that and make food for that and prepare for that. So the amount of waste yesterday was just incredible. It was like watching your heart being ripped away, watching everything getting thrown out. And then, me, like I'm sitting there and I'm watching the labor clock, right, just tick with no customers coming in at all these different locations. So you have all these locations up and operating, food being made, right, waste being made, labor just ticking away. And it was just a massive freaking loss, like in the hole. It's going to take, oh my gosh, it's going to take a couple events just to make up what we lost from this event. And that happens. Like, oh, Mike, you're crying. No, I'm not crying, because I'm just explaining to you what can happen in this business. And it's always kind of a risk with the weather. This isn't my first time having horrible events. Not at all. I've had many, many, many horrible events, right? But this one was just a kicker because it was so big and because it's been so good through the years. Nothing wrong with the event. We'll do it again next year and hope that the perfect storm of weather doesn't come through. But this is just kind of like a reality check, I guess. Like, maybe even sometimes I make the business look easy. And sometimes it is, boys. Sometimes the weather's great the majority of the time. And it's just like selling legal methamphetamine or legal cocaine or whatever. I mean, the profit margins are great. People are smiling and happy. They're just throwing you money in your window. You're taking it, and it's great. But when it's not great, this happens. And yeah, it's part of the business that I think people maybe don't realize when they get in, that you can have an event like this and it's going to take you a couple of events after it just to make up for the loss. So you're not even, we won't even be making money on the next couple of events, because we're going to have to use those events just to break even on this one. And I forgot to say, my channel is sponsored by the one and only kettlecornmachine.com. We had their A1 sweet machine. This thing's been my family for 15 years. This piece of equipment has been at this event for 15 years. And she still works like a charm, unfortunately. Know about the kettle corn. And here's another thing, kettlecornmachine.com. When it's raining and it's humid and you're making kettle corn, the kettle corn goes soft straight away. No one's buying it. And the product is getting soft. Oh my gosh, no one bought shaved ice. No, like, I bet we sold like 10 shaved ice. The temperature was low. For Kansas City, on July 4th, the temperature was 80 degrees. That is unheard of. Or July 3rd. It's usually 90 to 100 here. So, no one bought shaved ice at 80 degrees. It's just the way it was. Maybe we should have had hot chocolate. I don't know. But regardless, it wouldn't have sold anyway because there was nobody out there. And then people finally started, after the system passed, about 45 minutes before the firework display, people started piling into the complex. But they just piled in, pulled out their chairs, watched a huge city firework display, and left. That was it. Huge, massive loss. Massive. I don't even want to, I'm not even going to tell you the numbers. It was massive. But it happens. This is business. You can't cry over it. All you can do is realize what it is, and carry on. I hope you enjoyed the content. This is Mike, Caesar Concessions, out.